where he can go down and get tagged. That's not going to do anything to him. That's not going to mess up his timing.
You need to hit him right in the back at the kidneys.
Yeah.
I also think you need to get your hands up. If you can start, it's one of the things the Giants did very well in both of their Super Bowls against Brady, is watching his eyes. If you know you're not going to get home quickly and you know you're not there, watch his eyes, and the second it goes up, that hand has to be up and try and tip the ball. Or if you're not going to make it to him and you see him cocking back, throw a hand and hit his shoulder and his arm, because he starts remembering that stuff, and you see him starting to get out of his comfort zone.
Yeah. Now, if you're a lineman, watch his eyes. If you're in the secondary, don't, because he'll fool you.
Watch the wide receiver. Stay on your assignment and do nothing else.
He'll look you off like that Tua kid from Alabama to win a national championship. But
it may not even be look at his eyes if you're the lineman. If you see him cocking back and getting ready to throw, you put both of those hands up and just try and follow the ball. And if you can get a hand on it, because that was one quote he said during the Super Bowl, because he was mic'd up. I want to say it was the first Giants Super Bowl against the Patriots. He came out, and what he said to the offensive coordinator, he's like, it's like throwing through a forest. There's just a bunch of tree trunks in the way.
Let me quote Tom Brady from the first Patriots-Giants Super Bowl. You think they're going to hold us to 17 points? Okay.
Well,
that's pretty much a direct quote.
You say that, but
they held you to 14.
Yep.
What was I going to say? I obviously don't mean this to be a real comparison, but if there's something that makes me believe that the Eagles can put pressure.
Nice.
Yeah, Clyde's wearing a beautiful suit right now.
As always. Just came on TV. Clyde's suit game is just unmatched.
It's like a red-hot electric fence.
It's making me think of like Spider-Man.
Yeah, kind of is. Kind of is.
Anyways,
Black Panther's coming out soon, right?
I don't know.
Back at the right time.
Back to the Super Bowl. I don't mean this to be like an actual comparison, but the one thing that, if I'm an Eagles fan, gives me hope, what is the one thing of praise that across the board everyone in the NFL gives to Dak Prescott? He doesn't make mistakes. The Eagles forced him to make mistakes in both of the games they played. That's why they got blown out in the first game. And then even with their backups in the second game, they still held the Cowboys to 6 points. And Cowboys won 6-0, but still held Ezekiel Elliott and the guy who doesn't make mistakes to 6 points. So, like I said, in no way am I saying Dak Prescott is the same as Tom Brady. But
all right, we'll just make that clear.
Yes. Not yet.
I mean, people could assume with you. You never know.
Yeah.
But Ezekiel Elliott is Tom Brady.
There you go.
Ezekiel Elliott is...
I've seen him throw the ball. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Something else.
Yeah. He had a great Wookiee year.
Wookiee year?
Ewok year?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Yeah. Same thing. Anyways, so we have one more person that we interviewed, and it's my good friend Mike McCumber. All right. Yeah, he's the same guy that last week gave us the brilliant advice that we need to check ourselves for testicular cancer. Same guy.
Saving lives.
Yeah, saving lives.
I check myself regularly.
Let that be stricken from the court's notes.
What did Mike say?
First question is, are you a fan of any NFL team? Mike responded with, I like the Buccaneers because Pirates are cool and they seem like they could do with a fan. I then asked him, do you watch football on a regular basis? He responded with, no, but I will once the XFL comes back if they keep the extra dirty cheerleaders. Yeah, caveats.
I mean, he's thinking, it's
20 steps ahead.
Yeah,
he's playing 52D chess.
All right. Are you going to watch the Super Bowl? Is the next question I asked him. And he responded with, I always watch the big game between the awesome commercials, though the quality of the commercials has gone downhill these last few years. You'd think if you had to pay that much, you'd put effort into making them good. I miss the Dorito Samurai.
Maybe because they have to pay that much for him, that there's just no budget for, a brilliant mind.
Probably. Do you remember that Super Bowl's commercial when the Miller High Life guy was like, it costs how much to make a Super Bowl commercial? Wow. We could afford 2 seconds. And then just later on in the Super Bowl, the guy comes on, High Life. And that was it.
High Life! Gone. That was it.
Yep.
That was all that was needed.
All right. And the final question, I asked him, who do you want to win? He said, that's hard. But for the sake of safety, I think it's best if the Eagles won. Either way, there's going to be a riot. But if they lose, it'll be an angry riot.
Yeah, residents of Philadelphia should start boarding their windows now.
I want to say that they were thinking about installing the National Guard just in case. I'm not even making that up. I'm pretty sure Philadelphia's looking into it just in case. Because either way it goes down, there's at least a building getting burned that night.
He then
There's some looting.
Told me that he had other thoughts but didn't know how to articulate them correctly. Something about greasing poles and how there's a joke there. I think the real joke is how the referees are greasing Tom Brady's pole. But we'll leave that for another day.
In the game and then some. Wow.
Okay. Yeah. All right, guys. Are you ready to do some actual deep analysis into this terrible, terrible, terrible matchup?
Sure.
Yep.
As ready as I'm gonna be.
All right, it's time. Patriots at their media night. Rob Gronkowski was not there. Still in concussion protocol.
Yeah.
5 days away from the Super Bowl. Do you think this would spell disaster for the Patriots?
No.
Disaster? No. It certainly hurts them if he doesn't play. He's a huge weapon. But as we've seen, they can function without him. They're used to it. With how injury prone he is, they always have a backup plan.
Remember, they also don't have Aaron Hernandez.
Well, he's never coming back.
Really?
Let's be
Are you saying he's killed his chances?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes, they're done.
He's not hanging around there somewhere?
He is
I don't know.
gone.
Elon Musk has
forever.
been talking about a zombie apocalypse, so let's not put everything.
Let's also remember Elon Musk is the one that's bringing out a $600 flamethrower.
500.
For the zombie apocalypse, with the guarantee that if it doesn't satisfy your zombie apocalypse needs, full refund. So
After you die.
You're zombie.
Hey,
There's no way to disprove that doesn't satisfy.
every refund has its caveats,
That
alright?
was the greatest refund stipulation I've ever heard of. There's some guy, I can just see some guy in his massive field, and he set up a bunch of stakes, and he's using it, and he's like, "This isn't gonna be enough. I want my money back."
Did you buy?
You haven't actually tested it on a zombie, sir.
Did you purchase other flame packs? You did not. Your fault, not mine. You can get new ones for a mere $149.99.
You didn't get the extended flame.
And
Wait,
you
you
know
actually
what?
need flame packs to...
I have no idea.
I did not look into
You
it
better
at
be able
all.
to fuel it yourself with some kerosene.
I have no clue.
Unless it does something a flamethrower has never done before.
I mean, it's $600. What do you expect?
Actually, I think that's not that bad for a flamethrower.
If I
If
were
I
to
was
go,
going to shop on the black market for a flamethrower,
$12,000
it would be more than that. Yeah,
Potential.
no, that's what I'm saying. You pay for crap quality, you get crap quality.
we'll see. I mean, they look pretty sweet. They've got flames on the side, decals. Makes me think it's fast.
We actually had a decent discussion about this and how I think they're completely unnecessary. And you're like, looks fun.
Listen, I'm just saying, if I had $600 to blow right now, just to throw at something, then a flamethrower is not off the table.
Well, okay. Or we can each pitch in 125 and we'll get it together.
I'm down.
No,
The
sorry,
official-
150. 150.
The official Dan D'Antoni
Flamethrower.
I don't think they'll let us take that places.
Listen, if Elon wants to sponsor us and just send us that sponsorship via flamethrowers, I may or may not have the space to.
As long
a
as
lot of
as
them.
long as we don't have to do appearances on Mars.
Yeah,
I ain't about that life.
I mean, if they can get you back,
No.
I'd
No.
go.
It's
I
gonna
was
take
gonna say, yeah, if you can come back, then I volunteer
go.
as tribute.
yeah, I'll definitely go.
You want to spend 2.5 years getting there.
If they're gonna take care of all of it, yep. I'd spend 2.5 years coming back because at that point, all right? You clearly have one of the best stories in the room, and if you're not have the best story in the room, then you need to get the fuck out of that room.
I was on Mars.
I won a Super Bowl.
I
went to Mars.
I only want to be the first person though.
Wait.
Because I want to be the Neil Armstrong of Mars. Because way fewer people remember the Buzz Aldrin of Mars.
I think Buzz Aldrin and what's his name?
Yeah, but everybody knows Neil Armstrong.
Yeah, Neil Armstrong. No one thinks of Alan Shepard.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Well, but that being said, like you could be in a room with a Super Bowl winning quarterback and a Grammy winning platinum artist and be like, "Oh, I got a platinum records. I got a Grammy." All right, hundreds of people have done that. What do you got? I've got Super Bowls. Literally thousands of people have done that. I walked on the moon, got you all beat. Checkmate. Or I walked on Mars, got you all beat.
Yeah. Well, if you were there, I know I was there. We got to meet Dora the Explorer. Mic drop.
Well,
you remember that? She was in the assembly session. She was being honored.
Oh, yeah, that's
right.
I
got to meet Dora the Explorer.
I didn't actually get to meet her.
No.
Second best day of my life.
We're going to stop for a minute. Dora the Explorer was being honored at our state assembly.
Yes.
This is why nothing gets done.
No.
This is exactly why nothing gets done.
Like the first, was it like 40 minutes? Like the first 40 minutes?
I don't care if you spend 40 seconds on it. This is not state business.
They honor. Well, she's from New York State. She was
Says
being
who?
honored.
She's a cartoon
No,
character.
the girl who does the voice.
Oh, okay. You made it seem like they had a person in a costume, like this was Disney World on the assembly floor right now.
No, the girl who does the voice, she's from like Brooklyn.
Okay.
And she was being honored. They spend like the first 40 minutes of session when there's like 9 people there.
Yeah.
Right.
Honoring people who've done things like
that's fine.
Troy High School football team.
No, I get it. I was on a team that was honored on the assembly floor, okay? It just so happened that our coach happened to be a lawyer for the state of New York. So that's how it made it happen, I'm sure. But that being said, I get it. If you're going to recognize people from New York State, fine. I had the picture that you had somebody in a costume.
No. If you want to talk about why
if
New
that
York
was happening, then we would have had some serious issues. I would have had to leave and go sit at the assembly and just wait for somebody to answer my questions.
If you want to know why New York State doesn't get anything done, just go back to 2015 and listen to them debate what the state snack should be.
Oh God.
2.5 hours. And the questions, I know that this isn't a political podcast, but we're going to take a quick minute. They wanted to make yogurt because there's a lot of yogurt factories in New York.
Giovanni got it.
Yep,
yeah.
This is all coming back to me. And this is something I thought I had successfully suppressed. So thanks.
Nope. And one of the Senate, this was in Senate, one of the Senate members was saying things like, so why aren't chips the state snack of New York? And the guy who wrote the bill was like, well, I don't think we should be pushing trans fats as the state snack of New York. And the guy was like, okay, that's a good question, but what about yogurt-covered raisins? And the guy was like, well, then that would be a raisin covered in the state snack. What about pretzels covered in yogurt? Well, that would be pretzels covered in the state snack. What about people who are lactose intolerant? He said, you do realize they make lactose-free yogurts.
Yeah.
But do they in New York?
So, this is literally going on for hours. Just debating this. And, at one point, I think it was Senator Klein was like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever been a part of. Literally said, this is the dumbest thing
if I was
I've
there,
ever
I
been
would
a part
have.
of.
That's one of those situations where you have your head on your desk and you just wait until it's quiet and you slam your hand down, just in frustration. You don't even have to say words. You
know why this happened, though, right? Again, this is going to be the last thing.
No, I don't, and I fear to know.
It was a resolution pushed through by one of the senators who's part of the Independent Democratic Committee. And so the Democrats were all pissed off, and so they just want to ruin everything that they do. All right, back to football. All right, so
waste of fucking tax dollars.
They should spend more time trying to fix the Knicks.
Yeah.
I mean,
Where the hell did they get these uniforms tonight?
Yo, those uniforms are honoring the fire department.
Yeah, I actually like
Okay.
these.
I like them a lot, actually.
Yeah, I'm tempted to get one.
I think they're pretty sweet. The best thing about the Knicks right now is
No
their
defense.
uniform.